Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I want to dive in and I want to start off with this talking subject because this is going to be the entire video. I still am surprised that a lot of people think that XRP cannot hit $100 in value. Let's take a step back before I see the comments saying, first we need to break $1, first we need to break an all-time high, then $10. I agree, right? We need to start seeing some significant breaks of the all-time high, which has been well over 2,000 plus days. But I do believe that we shouldn't be looking at just the all-time high and saying, all right, well, that's the first thing that needs to happen. No, the actual first thing that needs to happen for us to hit $100 on XRP is utility. We need mass scale utility to happen with XRP. Now the question is not if XRP can reach $100 per coin, but when it does happen. Because I believe it will happen. And of course, no shots being fired at anyone, but I do think that this question is, it comes up so often. But we do see over here from Crypto Assets Guy, he's saying if you hold 10,000 XRP and it reaches a price of $100 per coin, you would have $1 million. Now the question is, do you think this will ever happen? That's what he says. Yeah, I do. Now I want to ask all of you out there, do you think that XRP will hit $100? Let's take a step back. Let's actually look at a few things. So I said, I can't believe people are really questioning if XRP can reach $100. If you hold XRP and have done enough research, then you know it can. But the question is, when will it happen? Not if it will happen. As we do look at the market cap for XRP at a $100 price tag, it would be about 5.3 trillion. Or if we look at the total supply, about roughly $10 trillion. Now, to some people, they might say, there's no way. Market cap way too high. Well, I did talk about market cap recently, right? I quoted a tweet and it's probably a little bit further behind, but I did include it in a video just recently, and I'm pretty sure that it was Chad Steingraber that did put it out. And he was talking about if you still are only looking at market cap, it was right here, then you don't know what you're talking about, right? He said, and I'm sorry if this sounds mean, but if your only argument is market cap, you have no idea what you're talking about and should have a larger scope of the world. This is about shaping the next 100 years of the entire planet. And when we really kind of look at XRP versus, Bitcoin or any other currency in this, space, there's nothing like it. And when I say that, I don't mean the use case. I mean the experience that XRP has. I know that kind of sounds weird, but when you look at Ripple has been pioneering this technology for well over a decade, connecting with massive financial giants. Now, let's look at what's happening here, because within this, I did include this in a video as well. There's only 4.7 million holders of XRP from the wallet that we've seen. And when you look at that, how many people are holding multiple wallets of XRP? And then I even said, what percentage of that will be gone at $1, $5, $10? The $100 plus price predictions, the only actual problem with them is how many people will still be holding XRP when that happens. Now, of course, when you look at Bitcoin, you can compare Bitcoin to XRP all day long, but the problem is that the supply is a little bit different. But technically, if you look at Bitcoin has hit $1 trillion in market cap already off of zero utility. So think about that. Bitcoin hit $1 trillion plus off of zero utility. People are projecting Bitcoin to hit $100,000 and eventually $1 million. So think about that. Like, how can Bitcoin get to those prices without zero utility? But then you look at XRP and you say, yeah, XRP can't go to $100. Like, are you kidding me? Let's actually look at what Bitcoin would be, right? Like at Bitcoin's level, right? If we go to $10 trillion for Bitcoin, this would be a $514,000 Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you this. Does this seem possible, right? Because everyone's predicting Bitcoin to go to $1 million at some point in time. In fact, last bull run, 2021, people were saying $250,000. So to think that XRP can't go to $100 is to think that Bitcoin can't go to $514,000. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think Bitcoin is going to go to $500,000? Because if you say yes, then technically you should be saying yes to XRP and how it can go to $100. The reason why is because there's a lot more utility behind XRP than there is Bitcoin. You could try debunking that all day long, but you won't be able to. In fact, the XRP Ledger, there was a recent announcement around it on how XRP and the XRP Ledger was the first ones out of the gate with the decentralized exchange and DeFi and things like that. And it even allowed Bitcoin to be able to be transacted on the XRP Ledger at a much lower price transaction fee and also at a lot faster rates. Now, of course, I did say, now imagine a token that has come cornering a $156 trillion market, a $250 trillion market by 2027, tokenization, line of credit combined with 100 plus use cases building on the XRP Ledger, and so much more. You really think that that token will only be worth $1, $5, or $10? Now, of course, like, what is the time frame for XRP to go to $100? And by the way, in terms of market cap, you really cannot predict market cap in the next couple of years, because there's also a significant amount of XRP that will be burned off of transactions when they start really scaling on the network. But I also look at market cap as it's just a weird way to look at some of these tokens in a market cap perspective, because you really can't put a value in terms of market cap on some of this technology. Like, we're valuing XRP at dollars today. Imagine when we don't have to. 1 XRP equals 1 XRP. And when we look at what's happening around the world, we know companies are looking into utilizing crypto technology. Look at some of the market caps of these tokens. And let me go to night view so that you guys are not blinded by that. But here we have Apple, almost at a $3 trillion market cap. It already hit 3 trillion. Microsoft, 2.5 trillion almost. Saudi Aramco, 2 trillion. Google, 1.6, almost 1.7 trillion. Amazon, almost 5 trillion. Nvidia just recently hit $1 trillion plus. And there's a lot of other, companies out there like this that have a massive, market cap. $500 million or $500 billion in market cap, or even $100 billion plus. And, if we look at the total market cap of these companies, look at this, $93 trillion. What's significant about that? Well, it's the fact that we know that JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, well, they want to start tokenizing stocks, equities. So think about that. 93 trillion. Okay, and then let's look at the recent developments as well. So shout out to Tokenizer. We do see the XRP Ripple effect continues. After a partial lawsuit win, Ripple had been consistently making huge moves. Palau USD backed stablecoin on the XRP ledger, Ducati NFTs, the ISDA associate member, UOT joins as a validator. Now they're building a carbon markets platform with EWT Energy Web Token founder RMI. And this is all after the lawsuit. So let's really look at the viewpoint of the fact that it's been roughly a month since we got the decision, and we've already seen these announcements. And remember, right, like the ISDA associate member announcement is huge, because first off, I went back in time and I looked through a lot of the research around this. It's very significant. I said I made a video yesterday talking about this huge announcement with Ripple joining ISDA. The timing is so interesting, especially after a lawsuit decision. I even noted it there. The ISDA has been drafting and launching standards behind digital asset derivatives. From the most recent BIS report, there's over $632 trillion behind the derivatives market. Ripple has been focused on this market for a while, and even some community members pointed out Codius. I'm not too sure if Codius is still being worked on, last update 2021. It's still significant to mention. In my opinion, this is one of the markets that are ripe for disruption due to the reliance on cash and lack of liquidity. Cough, cough, XRP. And when you look at these, right, like January 18th, 2022, developing contractual standards for crypto derivatives. Over here, ISDA launches standard definitions for digital asset derivatives. And then also over here, $632 trillion at the end of June 2022, OTC derivatives. And then also, last but not least, Ripple wins US patent for new Oracle-based smart contract design. This was October of 2020. Ripple's patent design would allow derivatives to settle based on external information, such as temperature data. And then also down here, somebody did mention, it was XRPville actually, he's saying, rolling out Codius when the market is mature enough. This was 2015, Ripple interoperable smart contracts, Codius, and of course, David Schwartz. Check this out.
Does that mean that you started to integrate smart contract capability within Ripple, but then you did it as something independent?
That's exactly right, and that's
Okay.
that's what Codius is.
So is Ripple, as it is, limited in the same way for adding programmability and that is why you created Codius.
I think that's a fair statement. I mean, we could have extended Ripple to include more smart contract capabilities, just like Bitcoin could be extended to include more smart contract capabilities. But then the problem would be, what if you want a smart contract that interacts with both Bitcoin and Ripple, or interacts with Bitcoin, Ripple, and some other system, like things in the real world?
Okay.
It made more sense to develop a new platform, we think.
So does that mean that you started to integrate smart contract capability within Ripple, but then you did it as something independent?
That's exactly right, and that's
Okay.
that's what Codius is.
So let's talk about Codius. Codius, what is the purpose of Codius? I read the white paper also. It says it's smart oracle. So it's going to be a node within the Ripple network, or a node independent between networks, that is going to be connected to the real world, absorbing information, and it will also have smart contracts on it.
Right, and the important thing is that it can interact with systems like Bitcoin and Ripple, which means you can have an agent that no one person can control, that can manage funds according to rules that are agreeable to a number of people. It's essentially an attested hosting platform, so that you can run software in a very secure way, so that more than one person can trust that that system will follow the rules that they've agreed on.
So if I am like a sidechain for Bitcoin, or some application on Bitcoin, or some application on Ethereum or Ripple, that needs external information, I can go to a Codius node, which is external to all networks and independent, and get that information to execute a contract, for example.
Right, and that contract can hold keys to funds on networks like Bitcoin and Ripple that it will only use in accordance with the software in it. So the problem that you would have today, if you wanted to deploy some sort of a smart contract-based service, is where does the smart contract run? And everybody has to test that, has to trust that execution environment if the contract is going to handle their funds. So what Codius gives you is an execution environment that's distributed and secure, and then that becomes the target platform that you can design your application to. So you already know that you're going to get a platform where everybody knows that anything that controls, like funds, will be used only in the way that they've all.
And again, like that's what they would want in terms of the derivatives market. If they did want to tokenize this at some point in time, they would want something that they can trust, that, you know, it's not going to go, you know, off and do this and do that. No, they want something that they can trust. Codius could definitely be that, especially within the Ripple scene, because again, this was all around this new Oracle-based smart contract design around derivatives, especially around settlements.
Does that mean that
this could definitely be significant? And I really think that this is something to also look into. But then you also have tokenization of other markets. Remember, like securities transactions, the DTCC, sorry about that, settles $2.4 quadrillion per year, right? Derivatives, over 600 trillion. Global real estate, 300 plus trillion. Global debt, over 300 trillion. Global equities, over 100 trillion. Cross-border payments, $156 trillion. There is so much damn money out there. Like if we're talking about the future of crypto, I look at crypto as a future $100 trillion asset class. Why do I? Well, because when you look at companies, right? Like go look at the list of companies over here, $93 trillion combined. There's about 7,765, companies on this list. When we look at crypto, 99% of it will be wiped out. All the trash will be gone. Then we will have the ones that are actually, worth mentioning. And when that happens, like how much money is going to be in crypto off of utilization? How much is the tech stack that these companies here will be most likely utilizing in the future be worth? So when I look at XRP and I see a lot of these people mentioning like, oh, like, will XRP ever reach this number? Will XRP ever reach that number? The answer is, you shouldn't be questioning on if it can reach those numbers. It's when will it reach those numbers? Because time is the only thing that's really stopping, you from realizing XRP's value like that. Now, the question is, do I think that XRP can reach $100 in the next year? No. Next 2 years? No. But over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, I do think that there's going to be a lot of money within this space. And I do think that, Ripple is going to continue to corner some great markets utilizing XRP, specifically, line of credit through SMEs, cross-border payments, things like that. And then also you have like the liquidity hub. We know at some point in time, the XRP token will be on the liquidity hub. And then you also have, tokenization of stablecoin CBDCs. You need something in between that to settle. I mean, there's so much opportunity here for XRP as a token. And, I think that this question, if, XRP can be worth X amount of dollars, it's very repetitive. But to simply answer it and to simply put it into perspective is, do you think that Bitcoin can be worth $500,000? Or do you think Bitcoin will be worth $1 million? If the answer is yes, then the obvious answer for XRP being worth $100 is yes. And yes, I do think that we need to start off with a few things, right? Like we need utility. It's not so much about XRP breaking its all-time high. It's not so much about XRP going to $10. It's a lot more tied to the idea of utility, because we're not going to go to a $5 or even $10 trillion market cap overnight off of just the retail sector. It's just not going to happen. But if we do have utility, and a significant amount of utility, meaning utilization, like actual utilization of XRP as a token, that creates a significant amount of demand for the token, considering the fact that the supply is still pretty low. I know that a lot of people look at the 100 billion supply and they think that's crazy, but then you have to factor in the idea that XRP is burned on transaction fees. It's such a small percentage right now, but imagine at scale how much XRP would be burned. Then yes, I do think that XRP could be hitting $100 plus in value. I've talked about it many times. Utilization is the key though. We need utilization, and when that does happen, well, that's game over. That's when you will see the real value of XRP shine. Because right now, what we're seeing in terms of XRP's value is practically nothing, if I'm being honest. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As is up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night. If you guys are on this video, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.